Hello friends! Today we are going to talk about a structure that is very popular in the English language. Question tags. Question tags are the short questions we put in the end of sentences, particularly in spoken English. Question tags are used in conversation to get a reaction from a person we are talking to. That's not really difficult, is it? There are lots of different question tags, but the rules are not difficult to learn. So let's look at them closely. We use tag questions at the end of statements to ask for confirmation. They mean something like, "Am I right?" or "Do you agree?" The basic structure is positive statement, negative tag. For example, "Snow is white, isn't it?" Negative statement, positive tag. For example, "You don't like me, do you?" If the main part of the sentence is positive, the question tag is negative. "He's a doctor, isn't he?" "You work in a bank, don't you?" And if the main part of the sentence is negative, the question tag is positive. For example, "You haven't met him, have you?" "She isn't coming, is she?" The question tag uses the same verb as the main part of the sentence. If this is an auxiliary verb, like have or be, then the question tag is made with the auxiliary verb. For example, "You are Tom, aren't you?" "This isn't working, is it?" "They've gone away for a few days, haven't they?" "They weren't here, were they?" "He had met him before, hadn't he?" If the main part of the sentence doesn't have an auxiliary verb, the question tag uses an appropriate form of do. For example, "They play football on Sundays, don't they?" "I said that, didn't I?" "She eats meat, doesn't she?" If there is a modal verb in the main part of the sentence, the question tag uses the same modal verb. For example, "They couldn't hear me, could they?" "You won't tell anyone, will you?" "We should write our report today, shouldn't we?" "We can't take the picture of the room, can we?" Note: question tags with might, must, or may are almost never used in spoken English, even though grammatically they are correct. For example, "She might come to the party, might she not?" "You must be hungry, mustn't you?" "They may go now, may they not?" Instead, we would say something like, "She might come to the party, don't you think?" "You must be hungry, right?" "They may go now, can't they?" На русский язык термин question tags переводится как разделительные вопросы. На самом деле в этом типе вопросов ничего не разделяется, а лишь подтверждается или опровергается. Мы задаем эти вопросы не просто с целью получения информации, а с целью обретения согласия или несогласия со сказанным. В зависимости от этого наш краткий вопросик, tag, будет переводиться по-разному. Не правда ли? Не так ли? Хорошо? И так далее. Давайте рассмотрим примеры перевода разделительных вопросов на русский язык. You usually start your work at 8 a.m., don't you? Ты обычно начинаешь работать в 8, не так ли? Nina can't speak French, can she? Нина не говорит по-французски, так ведь? We're going to see the parents tomorrow, aren't we? Мы завтра собираемся навестить родителей, да? You can always trust me, can't you? Ты всегда можешь мне доверять, хорошо? You haven't been to Kyiv, have you? Ты никогда не был в Киеве, я прав? При образовании разделительных вопросов в английском языке есть свои маленькие исключения. Если подлежащее и сказуемое в основном предложении I am, то в кратком вопросе мы скажем aren't I как бы подозрительно это ни звучало. For example, I'm the fastest, aren't I? Not I'm the fastest, am I not? I'm clever, aren't I? I'm a good person, aren't I? I'm going to win this game, aren't I? But I'm not crazy, am I? Not I'm not crazy, are I? Если подлежащее выражено словами anyone, everybody, somebody и так далее, то в хвостике будет местоимение they, они. For example, everyone was happy, weren't they? Not everyone was happy, wasn't everyone. Anyone can fall in love, can't they? Somebody took my pen, didn't they? Если в основном предложении есть такие слова, как neither, none, nobody, nothing, never, scarcely, barely, hardly ever и что-то подобное, такое предложение является отрицательным. Поэтому хвостик, tag, у него будет положительным. For example, they never argue with me, do they? Nobody called for me, did they? Nothing could be worse, could it? He hardly ever drinks, does he? You barely know each other, do you? Neither of us has to be there, do we? She can rarely come these days, can she? You would scarcely expect her to know that, would you? В предложении, которое начинается с побуждения let's or let us, короткий вопрос будет выглядеть как shall we? For example, let's start, shall we? Let us all sit down and pray, shall we? Let's get something to eat, shall we? Let's not make it personal, shall we? В предложениях, выражающих просьбу, приказ или распоряжение, разделительный вопрос будет звучать как will you, won't you, can you, could you, etc. For example, please shut the door, will you? Пожалуйста, закрой дверь, хорошо? Pay attention, would you? Будь внимателен, хорошо? Give me a hand, could you? Hand me that book, can you? Quite friendly. Help me, can't you? Quite friendly, but with some irritation. Don't forget, will you? With negative imperatives, only will is possible. Take a seat, won't you? Polite. Question tag can either be a real question where we want to know the answer, or simply asking for an agreement when we already know the answer. If it's a real question, we use rising intonation. For example, Jack isn't your brother, is he? Our tone of voice goes up. And if we already know the answer, we use falling intonation. For example, it's a nice day, isn't it? Our tone of voice goes down. So how do we answer a tag question? Often we simply say yes or no. But sometimes we need to be careful when answering certain types of tag questions. For example, everyone knows that snow is white. So if we ask, snow is white, isn't it? The correct answer will be, yes, it is, meaning, I agree with you that it is white. But if we ask, snow isn't white, is it? The correct answer will be, yes, it is, meaning, of course snow is white, not no, it is. Or if we ask, snow isn't black, is it? The correct answer will be, no, it isn't, meaning, I agree with you that it isn't black, not yes, it isn't. But if we ask, snow is black, isn't it? The correct answer will be, no, it isn't, meaning, I strongly disagree with you because snow is not black. Here are some more examples with correct answers. The moon goes round the earth, doesn't it? Yes, it does. The Earth is bigger than the Moon, isn't it? Yes. The Earth is bigger than the Sun, isn't it? No, it isn't. Asian people don't like rice, do they? Yes, they do. Elephants live in Europe, don't they? No, they don't. The English alphabet doesn't have 40 letters, does it? No, it doesn't. The car isn't in the garage, is it? You're John, aren't you? She went to the library yesterday, didn't she? He didn't recognize me, did he? Cars pollute the environment, don't they? Mr. Pritchard has been to Scotland recently, hasn't he? The trip is very expensive, isn't it? He won't tell her, will he? Hugh had a red card, didn't he? That's all for today's lesson, friends. As you can see, the topic of question tags is not that hard to understand as long as you know the basic rules of how and when to use them. Hope you have a great day. Good luck!